muted. Welcome to the Curly Hair Q&A show. I am your host, Ken Nickels, and I'm here with Melanie Nickels. She is the founder of the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida. It's one of the top curly hair salons in the country, and Melanie is one of the top curl and color experts anywhere in the world. She is also the founder of the Raw Curls brand of natural and organic curly hair products that can be found at rawhairorganics.com. And welcome tonight, everybody. This is show number 162. Thanks for joining us tonight. How are you today, Melanie?
I'm good.
Good. How's your week?
So far, healthy.
Good. How's your week so far been?
Busy. We're still busy. We're open and running and operating in full swing for all of those people that are panicking and want to get their hair done.
Yeah, that's pretty much the case. So
yeah.
we have not been shut down around here yet. Restaurants have, and that's about it. Well, for the most part, that's about it.
A lot of stores and a lot of places have been closed, but we're, since we have a small boutique salon and we never have more than like 5 people in there really at one time, and we are practicing like hospital and doctor sanitation guidelines, so we're good.
Yeah,
and we're healthy
because we are surrounded by them in our office.
Yes,
next door on one side, the other side, in front of us.
We have a lot of clients and friends that are physicians, so we're good, and they're not even worried, to tell you the truth. But so, and just so everyone knows, of course, I am practicing social distancing from my husband. So, see. Yeah, and actually, to be honest with you,
it's about 5 feet.
I've been practicing this distancing for quite a long time, so no worries.
There you go.
Yeah, keep my distance.
Yeah, good. Right. Well, I'm not the devil.
You could
Don't
be.
put a cross up.
You could be.
Oh, man. So, anyway, we are live streaming tonight, just like we do every Monday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and a number of locations, including on Facebook in the Curly Girls Support Group and the DevaCurl Users Support Group. On YouTube, we are also live streaming on the Curly Hair Q&A Show channel. You can search that out if you'd like. That's the best sound, audio, and visual user experience there, and all the previous shows, including all the daily Q&As, are all archived there, so you can find them there. We are also live on Instagram at Raw Curls. And how are you, Instagram? Hey, Instagram, do you guys have sound this week?
Please.
Somebody find out. Give me a thumbs up or something if you got sound this week. Oh, it's about time. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We've had some issues, but it looks like it's figured. Out. So,
miracle.
Yes, it's a miracle. So so we narrowed down some of our live streams that we've been doing down to the Curly Girl Support Group, the DevaCurl User Support Group, and on the YouTube channel, and then Instagram, of course. It's a different feed. We were up to, I think, 8 or 9, including Twitter. And the reason that we're not doing it on several channels at this point is we're trying to work through some of the technical issues, and this makes it a little bit easier. So we plan on in the near future here going back to that, but it's going to be a bit until we're completely ready, because it would be up and down. Some weeks it would go smooth as silk, other weeks it wouldn't. So we decided to kind of narrow it down, and that's where we are now. We are also a 2019 award-winning podcast, and this episode will be available by about roughly midnight Eastern Time tonight, and you can find that anywhere that you consume your podcasts, such as Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, Stitcher, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Radio Public, Podcast Addict, and SoundCloud. So anyway, so that's about that. You got a fun fact for us this week?
Of course I do, and I said to this new client that I was going to talk about her on the show, so here we go. Miss Dahlia, I had, believe it or not, a fabulous experience with a millennial, and that is interesting to everybody I know, especially
because they're getting older. If you think about it, millennials are getting older. It's now Gen Z that's.
No, but she's a young millennial. She's
a younger end of it,
and she was mature, pleasant, very independent, and
what's
the word I want to use?
Not over demanding.
No, but anyway, she's
unappreciative.
No.
None of that.
Hardworking, just an old soul and just a pleasure. And it was a breath of fresh air. So thank you, Dahlia. And in fact, Ken didn't even believe me, because he said they don't exist, but they do. They do. So there was one out there, and she said her husband's another one.
Well, there we go. So there's two. Oh, congratulations. Yes. Lucky you. That is a fun fact. Oh, boy.
Very fun.
Yes, it is. All right.
I spent oh my God, I think about 4 hours with her.
Holy cow.
So it wasn't just a quick appointment. Yeah, it was a full head of thick curly hair and Pintura highlights and toning. And so it was a long appointment, but we had just a really nice time, and yeah, she was a pleasure. Good.
Wonderful. That's nice to hear. Tonight we are sponsored by the Raw Curls Academy. It'll come up on the screen here, and then we're going to talk about it. Okay. There we are. We're sponsored by the Raw Curls Academy in beautiful Naples, Florida, at the Raw Hair Organic Salon for now. And I hate to announce it, but the March 29th and 30th class is canceled.
Yeah.
Wah, wah. So pull that back up there. I'm not done talking about it.
What a bummer. Well, nobody was comfortable traveling, and, so, we, that's fine. Yeah. We are understandable.
Yeah, that's pretty much what happened is everybody pretty much backed out except for one. So we're going to reschedule that. Yeah, we're going to reschedule that date. We already have another class scheduled for July 26th and 27th. That is also the same thing, 2-day hands-on workshop, Sunday, Monday, in beautiful Naples, Florida. So if you'd like to sign up, you can go to rawcurls.com/academy to sign up for that. And if we do come up with another date to replace this March date, we will, but we're not going to do it at this time because nobody knows what's going on. We don't know how long
this is going to last. This craziness, this coronavirus is causing.
The whole last month we've been talking about, do we cancel this class? Do we keep it? Do we keep it? Do we keep it? Do we cancel it? And then we just kind of watched people little by little.
We let them cancel out on us. I said, I'm available. I'm willing to teach it. No problem. I'm not, fearful of the virus or getting sick or anything like that. But, people, it's hard for them to travel. It's hard to get food. Bring your own toilet paper. So it just is a little complicated. So, everyone just kind of backed out and decided to come another time, which is fine. We'll just do it another time.
Yeah, which is fine. The Academy/class news again. The DevaCurl Academy co-founder Sherry Harbinger and her new project from the House of Harbinger Stylist Training that was scheduled for the last weekend of April at the Raw Hair Organic Salon in beautiful Naples, Florida, has also been canceled. We'll be rescheduling that at a later date. We're not exactly sure yet, but Sherry and I had another long conversation and thought, maybe we need to do this. So everything's getting canceled.
Everything's on hold right now. It's hard to schedule. People don't know about flights, and even the hair show was canceled for June. So we just don't know how long this is going to last and keep circulating around, and so it's just a lot of unsureness.
Too many unknowns. Yeah. So, all right. So that's that. So that's the bad news. The good news is, and I got some good news.
Good. Let's hear some good news.
Hold on a second. Sing or something.
Sing? Oh my gosh. No, you don't want to hear me sing. No, you don't. Let's talk about the new flavor of green.
I'm going to right now. Hold on.
I see a bright orange sticker.
I had to turn my volume up because it went low for some reason.
Oh, maybe we hit. I need a mute button for Ken. That's what I need. I want a button where I can mute him.
Well, somebody back there is. All right. So we're also sponsored tonight by RawganX Health and the new pineapple mango flavored RawganX Super Green Juice that just launched this past Friday.
That's cool.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
There it is, new flavor.
I'm still working on the old flavor, so I haven't even gotten the new one yet.
Well, I've gotten some feedback on it already because it went out Friday.
Are you liking it?
Yeah, everybody is.
Oh.
Yeah, even people who are picky, which is really kind of neat. Okay. Are you thinking about your immune system lately? You should be. This is the same blend that I used when I was battling stage 3 cancer over a decade ago. And look at me, I'm still here. Those are some really cool pictures.
Yeah, nice pictures.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, your number one defense is going to be your immune system. That is what people should be focusing on, is having a strong and healthy immune system. Our bodies are amazing, can fight off so many things. So it's good to strengthen and supplement, with nutrition.
Yep, it sure is. And
I mean, we never get sick. I don't get flu shots. I don't get, I don't even have a doctor.
I've been sick.
To say, but, it's like.
Well, we do.
Well,
but we don't use them.
Yeah, I mean, I have clients that I could call, but I don't really.
Right.
So we don't get sick, and I'm exposed probably on a daily basis.
Yeah. Well, the good news is for some of you, the good news for people who are looking at least to be able to supplement their greens since the store shelves are bare.
Yeah.
There's some really special deals going on right now at RawganX.com, including there's one of them actually is a buy one get one that's going on.
Really?
Yeah, which is really cool. And then there's some deals on. They should be up tonight, some 3 and 6 packs. So anyway, but that's not the really big news about the RawganX thing. I haven't even told you this because I didn't find out until this afternoon.
I'm always the last to know.
This Friday at noon Eastern time, live on the RawganX Facebook page, not the RawganX Inner Circle group, not that private group, on the RawganX page, I'm doing an interview. With
who?
That guy, Dr. Gordon Pedersen. I've got him on again. I've had him on about a year and a half ago. I had him on.
Long?
Yeah, it's been. Oh no, it's probably been a year.
Yeah.
I brought him on a year ago, and well, this is interesting. Here, I'll just tell you guys quick. I brought him on a year ago, and somebody contacted me about him with what we were doing. Had heard about my my cancer story and our journey and whatever, and said, hey, I got a guy here you might want to talk to. And I had never heard of him before. This guy, I'll just give you he's got a resume that'll choke a dinosaur, but just to give you an idea, and he might be as old as a dinosaur because he actually worked, get this, he actually trained in college and medical school under Jonas Salk. Who's Jonas Salk?
Yeah, we don't know.
He's only the guy that cured polio.
Oh,
created the polio vaccine.
Cool.
Yeah. So anyway, this guy,
he looks good.
Yeah. for a guy that old. No, seriously. And he knows I kidded him
probably
before.
Not much older than you. You better
No, he's probably in his late 60s. He's got to be. But this, when it comes to immunity and fighting viruses and stuff like this, this dude knows. And like I said, I had him on here a year ago, and we were talking about a bunch of stuff. And after the interview, he sent me a couple of things, and I took them. And this was right after, like, 2 months after I got really sick in Wisconsin. Remember that? I missed my flight for 3 days. I mean, I got sick.
Yeah, you did get sick there.
I got really sick.
That was when you were traveling.
I was traveling, right? Well, I came home, and this interview happened right after that. I started it, the stuff that he recommended, and he sent it to me for free. I was really surprised. And knock on wood, have not been sick since. I couldn't believe it actually worked.
We just said we don't get sick, but I forgot you did have that.
But I did, but it was after that. So anyway, I got him on. So if you want to talk to him, if you want to,
you're always touching yourself.
Do a Google search. Do a Google search on him, and you'll see foremost authority on structured silvers and stuff like that.
I wish I could be on there because I have questions.
Guy's really smart.
Because can you ask him for me? Because I've shared with some clients about the whole silver thing, and what we're getting products in the salon to sell, especially with what's going on now. I've used colloidal silver for years.
It's kind of a different thing.
Probably 10 years as a nasal spray, because it's always helped me with my allergies and sinus infections, and that's why I swear I never get sick going on the planes because I'm always doing my colloidal silver nasal spray.
Yeah, the sinus cleanse.
Yeah, so I've been doing that forever. But, when I've talked about it to clients, we were wondering, like, why this is not more widely used. Why isn't the government using...
That's a question I'm going to ask him, because that is a really good question.
If this is such a cure, then how come it's so simple and more medical facilities and the government... I probably know the answer because it's the same as everything that we learned, it comes down to the big pharmaceuticals. But anyway, I'm just curious. Yeah,
I will ask him. I've been trying to get him on again for a month.
Especially now, like this should be like
now, right? And he knows that, and that's the thing. He's been I've been trying to get him back on the show for a month to interview him. He's been gone because he's been lecturing to giant lecture halls of doctors in Africa and in Greece about this stuff. The guy's the real deal. He all but cured, I think, of malaria. Malaria, is that the water, or is it cholera? Malaria or cholera, whatever the waterborne one is, in a number of these African nations. the guy is serious. I can't believe he comes on my little show. Like, he's got the time, right? But he's coming on. Oh, anyway, so what I wanted to tell you guys, it would take me 15 minutes to tell you why you ladies would want to come on. He wrote a book on this and women's,
I saw that.
you know what, health. Yeah, that. He knows about...
Shyness?
What? Yeah.
Shyness?
He knows about that stuff. You can say it, I can't.
Privates.
He knows a lot about your privates.
Wow. I grabbed this because I just saw it sitting on your shelf, and I was going to read it.
Nagging stuff off my shelf.
Yeah. Well,
Anyway.
you're hoarding. You're just like, you probably have toilet paper hidden, too. I didn't, so I want to read it. I want to know.
Yeah, so take a look at that. And But like I said, ladies, if you want to come on, like I said, I mean, it's not selling anything or whatever, really. It's really not. He comes on, and he didn't when he was on. He just talked for an hour. The guy talks as much as I do.
That's hard to believe.
All right, not that much. All right, you ready for our guest?
Yes.
So that's it. Don't forget that Friday, noon Eastern time.
This Friday?
Yes.
Noon?
Yep, Eastern time.
Eastern. On RawganX?
On the RawganX Facebook page, not the RawganX private inner circle group, because that's private.
Because I have some clients that want to watch that.
Yeah,
so I have to
and if you got
remember.
questions, get them in, and I'll ask them live.
Cool.
Okay, all right. So we let me introduce our guest tonight. We have another guest. Boy, we have been just
Maybe
packed
the silver
with
helps
guests.
curly hair.
I don't know. We'll have to ask
But
him.
you know what? Okay, so here, I'm sure there is, I can tell you, a correlation between viruses and being sick and, hair loss, and which would affect curly hair. So there you go. You got to stay healthy, because if you're stressed, you're going to have hair loss. If you're, it can cause gray hair, can cause hair loss. If, let's see, what else? Taking antibiotics, that affects hair, so that can cause you to have your hair to dry out and have hair loss, so all kinds of ways. So we need to make sure that we're doing what we can to stay healthy and strengthen our immune systems again, because it all comes back to that. So see, it ties in with curly hair.
It does. Okay. All right. Let's bring on our guest for some questions.
Okay.
If you guys have any live questions, you can submit them in the Curly Girl support group in the comment section, and I will take a look at those as we go through our questions here. Anyway, tonight I have on Annazette Cromartie. She is a curl curator providing services in North Carolina and Virginia. She's a DevaCurl Level 3 stylist and a Cut It Kinky alum.
Nice.
And she is skilled with working with all curl types from wavy to coily. So
She's got
welcome.
some coily hair.
Yes, welcome to the show, Annazette. How are you tonight?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Oh, we're
Great.
doing.
Welcome, Annazette.
We're doing well. I should probably point this out just so people know, is when we do the live show like this, usually we try to go live right at 7:30, and then we we'll go through a lot of number of other things, announcements and whatever ahead of time. And that the reasoning for that is twofold. One, because the announcements have to be gone through, but second of all, because we're in Eastern time and this is when we can do the show, we've had a lot of comments over the years about when we have the show, and we just can't, people in different time zones, would complain, well, I'm just giving my kid a bath, or we're just having dinner or whatever, and I can't. So what I do is we do this to kind of give as many people as we can get, to come on and not be too far into it. So that's why, so for those of you who've always wondered, that's why we don't intro the show and go into questions within 60 seconds of starting. Okay. That's why.
And plus Ken just likes to talk.
That's fine with me.
And I like to talk.
What does your shirt say in the picture?
It's actually my logo. It's SAT's hair, and SAT stands for each initial of my daughters.
Oh, cool. It's very cute.
Cool. All right. So why don't you, Annazette, tell us something about yourself, and tell us how you got involved with curls and how you got involved with hair, and give us kind of a background, kind of bio of how you got to where you are.
Well, my background has always been hair. However, I started out and no one said, well, there's no money in doing hair. So I went into the medical field for actually almost 12 years.
Wow.
Nursing?
Yes.
How did I know? There's always this crossover between nurses and hairdressers. It's the weirdest thing.
That
Okay.
is true. Either one or the other.
Right.
And I lived in New York for several years, moved to North Carolina, and I realized that while I was going to nursing school for my bachelor's and working as an ER tech, I would be making more money while I was there than what I would be making in North Carolina. So for saving from debt, I decided, I'm going to go to hair school. I might as well make my own hours and be able to hang out with my kids more often. So that's what I did. I went to hair school. I've been done for 3 years now.
Oh.
I decided to do curly hair because I would struggle myself and with my girls to try to do their hair. Yeah, I went to hair school, but you don't really learn anything
Exactly.
about curly hair in hair school.
Exactly. We talk about that a lot. Do they have the same kind of hair you do?
Actually, no. So my girls, it's a mixture between curly to coily and a mixture in between all 4 of my girls. So it was I couldn't do exactly the same thing that I could do on my hair that I do with theirs. So it was basically a journey and me trying to figure out, okay, I can't have them just feeling any kind of way because, of course, women in their hair, it's a whole self-esteem thing. So I had to figure it out, and that's what I did.
Wow. Cool. Did you say you have 4 girls?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, my God. What's the age span?
The oldest is 19. The youngest is 8.
So you're not doing the 19-year-old's hair every day anymore, huh?
No, she actually has dreadlocks now.
Oh,
wow.
That's the end of that for a while.
Yeah.
Lucky you. Well, cool.
Wow. So you're kind of still a newbie, I consider, in the hair industry because, 3 years, but that's awesome. So you never did you just go right into curly hair or did you do, regular hair cutting and coloring and stuff as well?
No. So, what I did was I did regular hair cutting, trying to find my way after I finished hair school, did a lot of extensions. And for me, on my own journey, I wanted to go natural because I always used to use a relaxer and everything. I'm I need to figure this out. I can't find the information. So it was basically down the rabbit hole for me trying to figure out how do I do this. And then when I started to say, okay, I'm going to specialize in curly hair, everyone looked at me crazy, yeah, right, that's dumb. But I didn't listen, and I kept going. And it's the same thing I did with nursing school. I knew what I wanted, and nothing was going to stop me. So therefore, with hair, I did the same thing. I knew what I wanted, and I kept going.
Good for you.
Yeah, good for you. So are you in North Carolina now?
Yes, I am.
You are. So that's where you're based out of now, North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where I live now in North Carolina. Yes.
That's kind of a similar story to one of my stylists that works for me. She has a 3B 4A hair type and struggled working with her own hair and figuring it out and finding people to work with it and be able to, make it look nice. And so, she went to beauty school kind of for the same reasons as well. That's interesting.
Yeah, very much so. Okay. All right, we've got some questions, and then Melanie, feel free to jump in as you would like. But let's get into some questions. So, pretty much all of us, at least the majority of people, unless maybe you're really, really new, we know what a DevaCurl Level 3 stylist is. But tell us what a Cut It Kinky alum is. Tell us what that is, what you learned, and what is that?
Cut It Kinky specializes in teaching you how to style and cut kinky hair more on the I want to say I don't follow that whole ABDEFG thing because we all know it's really not a thing, but it basically teaches you how to cut tighter texture curls because it's more of a 3D type cutting, more freehand, being able to see the hair in 3D. So that's what they teach us. It used to be a 3-day course, all live. Now it's a 1-day online and then 2 days hands-on from the time you walk through the door. We basically have about 12 models that all of us worked on throughout the first 2 days, and we just all in from the time you hit the door to the time you leave out of class.
Wow. So it was cutting in and out a little bit when you were talking about that. So you're saying the Cut a Kinky deals with the more tight, coily hair, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
Is there a cutting system dry or wet or both?
It is a dry system for cutting hair. You basically, when we do the class, they basically teach you how to ask the right questions. We're not just cutting just because we just see the hair, figure out density, figure out where the hair lays in a three-dimensional air per se. Just like if you were to like see like a 3D model, you can see it better, like where the angles are, where everything is, where everything sits. Whereas, okay, you're just going to pick the hair. Everyone knows how to cut hair. We all know how to cut, but being able to see it three-dimensionally and see where the hair is going to lie naturally, and that's how they teach you how to cut.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And do they teach you any tricks on dealing with, that hair is really tightly compacted. So, a lot of times if my experience is, you have to take tiny little sections because it's a lot of times very fine hair, but there's so much of it and it's so compacted. The shrinkage factor is really tight. So, did they teach you any, tricks in dealing with that? Because I know, it seems like you could skip over a lot of the hair.
Yes, you could. And that's where I really appreciate their training, because it's not just the cutting part of it, the styling part of it helps you with the cutting. Mm-hmm. So if you're not styling that hair correctly, mm-hmm. you're not going through and detangling properly, mm-hmm. you're not going through and making sure that when you do your curl set for your client, mm-hmm. you're, like you said, you're going to miss spots. You're going to miss, like, mm-hmm. when you're trying to cut and do, it's like thick, and you're going to miss a lot of that hair, and it's going to be all crazy when they go and do their wash mm-hmm. the next day. Mm-hmm. That's why if they don't come in properly hydrated, properly conditioned, properly set, then we have to take them to that bowl first and do their cleanse and condition and set their hair, and then we can cut once it's dry. So it may take a little bit longer for that appointment. And it gives you that leeway of figuring, okay, do you want to cut first, or do you want to set first and then cut after?
Wow. So if you did that where you cleanse and set and cut after, then after you're done cutting, are you cleansing and setting them and styling them again?
No, because the way how they teach you how to set the curls, if that's what you have to do first, mm-hmm. when you cut, there's nothing to do after. Oh,
cool. That's cool. I like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's talk about that, because what she said about detangling is so true, and especially I find that type of hair in the back of the head, the nape of the neck, it really is usually mm-hmm. thick and tight. So, and it's so that's a difficult place for individuals to detangle properly. So, when you're teaching your clients or customers with these curl types, are you explaining, how are you explaining to detangle properly? Are you using a comb? Are you using a Denman brush? Can you give us some tips on that?
Sure. When I tell my clients to detangle, always using a tool is best, because you're not sitting there for hours on end trying to detangle.
Yeah.
So whatever's easier for them, I usually tell them like a tangle teaser or Felicia Leatherwood brush, which really helps to detangle properly. Because sometimes when we're trying to do it with our fingers, I like to do it with my fingers. However, as a client at home, they get frustrated trying to detangle their hair with their fingers, so they'll start to pull and break their hair. So take your time, use a brush. If that's what you have to do, use your tools. That's what they're there for. And detangling properly, and you may have to spend some more time. And sometimes I'll tell them, instead of adding more conditioner to get that slippage, add a little bit more water first and go and take it section by section and detangle really well.
Exactly. That's exactly what I do as well, and I agree with that completely. And I always tell people, just don't pull and snap the hair, as long as you do have conditioner in it and you're using whatever you need to, a wide tooth comb. Sometimes a wide tooth comb or some of these brushes are too wide to get fully detangled for these types of hair. So but it's really important to fully detangle, or they're going to end up with dreadlocks like your daughter.
Right. whether they like it or not.
Hers were done by herself.
Right. They might get them not on purpose.
Yeah. So you've had DevaCurl training actually pretty significantly, 3 levels of it. And you've had the Cut It Kinky training. They are obviously quite different. How do you meld those in your daily career, or don't you?
I actually do. For me, it's like when you are at your job, you learn different pieces of it to make you a better person. So for example, like now with everything going on as a nurse, you learn different parts. You learn how to do phlebotomy. You learn how to read an EKG. You learn how to do different things. So it's an added tool. So the Cut It Kinky is an added tool to my toolbox. The DevaCurl classes that I took is an added tool in my toolbox. I've taken other classes. I've taken Evan James classes. That's another added tool in my toolbox. So depending on who walks into the salon, sits in my chair, I have to evaluate, okay, I'm going to use this part of my training for this part of the cut, this other part of my training for this part of the cut, and blend them all together. So it's not like I'm just going to pick one thing and that's it. No, I'm just going to do whatever I can do to make that haircut when that person walks out the best haircut they've ever had.
Yeah, that's one of the things I've finally seen changing over the last maybe 2 years. Finally, is for the longest time. Well, you've only been a stylist for about 3 years, but I can remember 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago where virtually everybody that was, let's just call him a curl specialist, was DevaCurl trained, and that was it. And everybody was for
either Diva or We Dad.
We weren't seeing a lot of We Dad. You still don't see a lot of them.
They're out there.
But they're out
just
there.
Not as vocal.
Yeah, but they're not as vocal. But what you were seeing was everybody who was a Diva trained stylist was trying to cookie cutter jam everyone that sat into their chair into that system instead of having a system, or as you say, tool in their toolbox to fit in whatever client was sitting in there. And there were some people that would come out, they'd post pictures, and some people would look great, some people didn't look great. And that's why I really like your explanation that you're building up a toolbox so that everybody that sits in your chair, regardless of what curl type they're rocking, you can service them. And that is really, in the last 10 years, that has really changed, and I'm really glad to see that.
Yeah. Well, I think even the curl types are evolving. Like we talked about, the mixing cultures and it's creating all different kinds of hair types and curls, and just like that client I posted a picture of a week or two ago, she had every curl type on her head, and she had never had a relaxer.
Yeah, you had like 3 or 4. Something like that.
She had all 4. She had all 4, and it was crazy. I mean, even for me, I was like, wow. I mean, it was distinct differences from straight to wavy to curly to kinky. It was just unbelievable, and she's never had a straightener and never had color, so it was really kind of cool, but not great for her because she is trying to deal with it. So we gave her a nice haircut, and hopefully it's going better and blending better for her. But yeah, you got to have all kinds of different. I know, right? Yeah, just about no, but yeah, big chop.
Right.
But it helps to definitely have the different tools from different systems and experience and knowledge to be able to deal with situations like that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Sure. I've got another listener question here. Okay, crisis. I let myself run out of DevaCurl Low Poo shampoo and the light conditioner. Stores that sell it are closed. I'm going to place an online order today. Sally's Beauty is open. Do they have anything comparable till I get my DevaCurl products? Please help. Thank you in advance.
So at Sally's, the only thing that I would more than likely recommend, actually it might be 2, the TGIN line. They have a really good moisture shampoo and conditioner. Then there's also the Dew. They have a good shampoo and conditioner. It's no sulfates, no parabens, no nothing like that. Those are the only 2 that I would recommend. Or also find out local salons that carry, whether it's Diva or another like curl friendly line, and purchase it there. This is the time to everyone work together and find other places in your community that you can go to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good answer.
Yeah, there might be some open, there might not, but yeah, good answer.
Do you have a salon?
Yes, I do. As of right now, we got the order today that until Wednesday, I can be open up until 5 p.m. After that, we are shut down in North Carolina.
Did they say how long?
No, we're supposed to be following the schools. The schools right now will be closed until May 15th.
May.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I'm still taking online orders. Like, I've had to adapt. I take online orders. I actually now started to do like virtual consultations with clients that, of course, they can't come in. So I've had to adapt to this whole thing.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. So what products do you mainly use in your salon?
I use a combination of 3 depending on who sits in my chair. I do use Diva products. I do use Inner Sense products, and I use AG Natural.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, good, because I've got another listener question here. I just want to write this down. Natural. Okay, I've got another listener question here. I stopped using DevaCurl products about a month ago. The frizz is still unbelievable at the top of my head. I don't know what to do to get my hair back to normal. The frizz and dryness is insane. Any recommendations? What can I do to get rid of the frizz?
First, I would have to figure out like what routine are they doing. Are they on any type of medication? Has their hormones changed? Have they been under stress? Once we figure that out, then I would figure out, okay, let's figure out what do you want to do? Like, are you wanting to continue using Diva? If not, then no. Then I'll recommend like Raw Curls is a really good line. Inner Sense is a good line. AG here, but without them being able to sit in my chair, me able to see their hair one-on-one, it would be kind of hard for me to like say, okay, yes, you need this product or that product. And I find it hard without, again, I can't see you, I can't touch you or even feel your hair to say, okay, this is what's causing your frizz and this is what you need to do. There's like so many other things that go into play to figure out why you're having frizz.
You know, even when you have someone sitting in your chair, there's so many factors that, you know, it's really difficult to figure out sometimes. And, you know, curly hair is just naturally drier and frizzier. So, you know, it's something.
His own person.
Yeah, exactly. And it can change with products. It can change with environment. And it can change with your mood or your hormones. Like you said, there's so many, like it can be fine one day and then more frizzy the next day. Who knows? You know, I mean, it's just an ongoing mystery.
The breeze could blow really hard one day and it's
exactly.
Right. Annazette, have you found an alternative for the DevaCurl curl cream? There's a woman here who's asking. She said, I like Shea Moistures, but she's terrified. Oh boy, she's terrified of protein overload. Here we go.
Well, your hair is made of protein anyway, so
yeah.
What?
Overload.
You're kidding.
You're kidding.
So for the curl cream, that's a hard one for me. If I were to suggest a curl cream, I would suggest mixing like a good leave-in conditioner with a gel, like proportion wise, like, you know, 1-to-1. But a curl cream, I really haven't found like a really good cream that would substitute for that. No.
We kind of do that in the Raw Curls line. I don't have a curl cream, so sometimes those people really like the mousse. But then, yes, like you're saying, sometimes they use conditioner and gel. But you have to be careful with that because it can not mix real well. You know, certain lines are, you know, you have to be careful.
They don't play well together, is what I like to say. They don't play well together.
It looks like curdled milk. But I'll recommend something. I know a lot of people like the Aveda. What is it called? Curl. Oh, I can picture it. It's a curl cream. Be Curly.
Be Curly. It was laying around here for a while.
Be Curly.
Okay.
I have to pull that out of the back of my head. Jessica says she can't believe how much is in my head, and I laugh because I feel like I don't remember that much anymore. But she's just like, this is my new receptionist who was a client of mine, and she's like, she just looks at me crazy. She's like, I can't believe you have that. You know that. Like I know people's phone numbers, or I'm like, call this person because they might want to come in and they haven't been in a while. And she just looks at me like I'm an alien because I guess I do keep a lot in my head.
You have it like back there, and you bring it to the forefront.
Yes.
I have this crazy I have like no short and midterm memory, but ask me something that happened 40 years ago and I will tell you in detail. What would you like to know? Would you like to know what you were wearing when I saw you? I will tell you.
Well, the trivia thing is
weird.
the weird thing with you. And I was just telling somebody
weird.
that. I'm like, his short-term memory is gone. It was fried with the chemo. But the trivia thing, which is like, why do you even know this stuff? It's so crazy. Why and how? I don't know. But he does. It's just ridiculous.
I'm a reader. I'm not near as much as I used to be.
I don't even know where you hear this information.
I'm not near as much a reader as I used to be, but I was 100 books on an average. It would be like 100 books a year. I just did it.
But you remember
and
all
I remember
that stuff.
It's just weird.
It is, yeah.
I'm the king of useless information.
That's right.
Anyway. I know,
right.
just ridiculous.
You'll need it one day.
Yes.
And that's what happens with me. If somebody's like, hey, you want to play Trivial Pursuit? I'm like, if I have
just shared that story. That's a fun fact. Let's share that fun fact. Because that's how we were talking about it. Because I said now with all this coronavirus, we're going to have to go back to just getting together with friends and having a meal in the house and playing games, which we used to do all the time. We love that. Well, we did that because we were broke. Because we went broke
when I was
with
sick,
being sick. But anyway, and it was fun. But yeah, we had some friends that always wanted to play Trivial Pursuit, and I hate that game because I feel like an idiot because I don't know anything.
And I'm like, well, if I have to.
Yeah, and so for years I talked them out of it. I was like, no, I'm not playing Trivial Pursuit. No. And then finally she broke me down, and I said, fine, but it's me and Ken against you and your husband. If I'm going to play, I'm being on his team. And guess what? They gave up after 15 minutes because he knew all our answers and their answers, and they quit.
Lifelong reader. That's the thing.
Weird.
Lifelong reader.
Okay.
I'm not smarter. I just retain.
Back to curls.
All right, back to curls. Okay. Actually, Melanie, I have a question for you. This one's for you. Hi, Melanie. Would you say that the Raw Curls Wavy Swavy Cleanser is color safe?
Yes. Absolutely. All my products are formulated to be color safe, which means they're gentle on the hair, they're non-stripping, they're sulfate free, they're pH balanced. So I was a big part of that in formulating because chemists, they don't work with hair color. So they don't necessarily know what the pH needs to be in order to close down the cuticle and all that to keep hair color from fading. So yes, absolutely great for colored hair.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Let's go back to, oh boy. I've got, hold on. I've got, okay, wait. I'm trying to shorten up a question for you, Annazette. I got one more question for you tonight. Oh boy. All right, get ready.
That looks like pages and pages.
It is pages and pages. It's literally 2 pages of a question for her, and okay, all right. Trust me, if you could see this, I'm gonna compile this
into how his desk looks.
Into a much shorter question. All right, okay. I have a 4-year-old. And about a year and a half ago, her hair went from baby fine straight to little curls and then a rat's nest. I guess it was in transition. I was introduced to the Curly Girl method of co-washing. We have tried different kinds, Suave, Not Your Mother's, Cantu, and currently DevaCurl No Poo and One Condition Original, which seemed to be the best for her hair, but now it's gone back to rat's nest. After washing her top layer, it's extremely ratted, and after combing, with a Y2 comb only, it will get ratted again throughout the day. If we don't wash it daily or pull it up in a ponytail/clip, it is even worse. Please help. I have pretty straight hair, and this is all new to me. Any suggestions? P.S. We do clarify wash her hair every few weeks or before we switch to new products. Well, there you go.
Well,
have at it.
Annazette's got 4 girls, so she should have all the answers.
I'm going to go grab something to eat while she answers this.
Oh, no. That's okay. You can say. Just don't crunch loudly, though. You said the mom said the child's 5 or 4?
4.
before. What I would suggest is, how is that child sleeping at nighttime? Also,
good idea.
because sometimes no matter how much you're shampooing and conditioning and detangling, if you're not putting their hair, if they're not sleeping on a nice satin pillow, pineappling it, put it in a bonnet, it's gonna look like a rat's nest the next day. And even no matter how much you try to detangle it, sometimes it just doesn't detangle properly, because now it's just tangles on top of tangles. So that would be my first thing. Like, how is that child sleeping at nighttime? Are you protecting their hair at nighttime as well? Then the other question would be also, what are you doing during the daytime? Are you just letting their hair fly all over the place and then trying to detangle it as you're shampooing? That's another thing. Yes, the child may be 4, but maybe it might be time for them to get their first haircut. I've had as young as 3 in my chair.
Me too.
Getting their first haircut. So that's another thing. Also, what type of shampoo? I think she said she used the no poo and the low poo and co-washing.
Yeah, that's what she's been doing.
I'm not a fan of co-washing. If you're going to put water on your hair, just go ahead and wash it and get it over and done with.
Yay. I feel the same way.
So yeah, that would be my thing. Like, how are they sleeping at nighttime? Or it may just be time for her to get her first haircut.
Yeah. Annazette, with your 4 daughters, what was the youngest of one of those that you cut?
My 8-year-old, she was actually, I want to say like maybe, 3 years ago. So she maybe was like 5.
Really? So did you go through any of these issues with your daughters, with their hair becoming a rat's nest, and maybe from sleeping? Or how soon were you putting them in bonnets? I guess?
Like at what age, when they're born, I'm sure they don't have really super thick hair. So at what age does it really start to come in thicker and tighter and curlier?
When they were like maybe 3 or 4, but also I used to just have their hair braided up. So wearing a bonnet really wasn't a thing. They'll have their hair braided up and then take their braids out after a week and shampoo and re-braid all over again. So their hair wasn't really out. I didn't know what else to do, so I just got it braided.
Okay.
Until I learned what to do.
Right.
You know what we were talking about in the salon? Did you use those? I don't know. I guess they're probably out of style now, but we were talking about those little colored clips that people, they put on little girls where you braid the hair in the little plastic colored clips,
No.
Like barrettes?
Yeah, the little barrettes. You've seen it, right? Yeah.
You bet.
Yeah. You know exactly
I
what
never used barrettes in the hair. When I did put her hair in braids, it would be like some beads on the edge sometimes, but she kind of hated that. She's like, Mom, those are too heavy, so we stopped with the beads. So yeah.
Okay.
Very cool. Wonderful. Okay, well, that's all I got for questions. So, God, I hate to say this, Annazette, but
well, I have a question.
Okay, go ahead and ask your question.
We didn't talk about coloring at all.
Oh, because go ahead, because I want to help her out too. So
do you do hair color?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. So is there anything that you do differently on the, tight, kinky, curly hair, coily hair? Why don't you share, some things that you do differently on that type of curl?
I actually don't do anything differently, whether it's a tighter texture coil or a looser waves or curls. I do the same color techniques. If I'm lightening, I only use 20, slow and steady. That's the best way to go. And I don't do anything. I don't switch anything up differently than I would if someone had like naturally straight hair.
Interesting. I really don't either. There's some different. I know so many different techniques. So, when you're, let's say, highlighting, are you using a pintura, like balayage technique, or are you?
Yes. Yeah. I do a mix of like pintura and regular balayage. All depends on what they're looking for, how light they want to go, or whether they want their roots done and highlights. It all depends on what needs to be done.
Okay. All right. Got anything else for her?
Let's see. I guess I do not.
Alrighty. Okay. Anyway, hate to do this, but I at the same time I want to do this. And normally we'll wrap up a show like this, Annazette, where I'll ask you if you have openings at your salon and where they can find you if they want to schedule an appointment, but we're not going to do that. But what we are going to do is I'm going to have you tell people what your website is, and I'm going to encourage everybody that's watching tonight or listening. And Annazette, if you didn't know, we are the #2 hair industry related podcast in 2019. So lots of people are listening.
That's all the time.
Yes, and I know I say it every week, but it's we've got, and it's even grown since then, but we've got a lot of listeners and a lot of show watchers, and I want to be able to encourage you guys to go to her website, find something. All you curlies, you guys are always spending money. Go over there and buy something, and let's help our people out. So tell us where they can find your website, and tell us a little bit just maybe about what's on the site and what they can find there, and how they can purchase.
Okay, my website is satshair.com. That's S-A-T as in Tom, Z as in zebra, hair, HAIR.com. You can find hair care products. I sell bonnets. I sell little cute little ties.
I see that.
Yeah. If they are either in the North Carolina area or Virginia area, they can, if they would like to, purchase a gift card to use at a later date. I am doing a special where it is a discounted gift card, so they can purchase and hold on to it until when these times have gone over and book their appointment.
Very good.
Good.
That's a good idea.
Wonderful.
Now, what's the deal with the mannequins? Are you selling mannequins?
So it's the hair. I sell wigs as
Oh.
well. Actually, that was another reason why I started doing hair, because I've always done wigs for cancer patients, and for me to go into the hospital, you had to have a certain level of training, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go and do it right and not finagle it. So I also do that as well.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, I was a part of the Look Good, Feel Better program forever, over 20 years. Now they moved it into the medical facilities, so I haven't been volunteering with them any longer. But yeah, I did that for many, many years.
Yeah, they moved on us.
So it's a great program.
Yeah, it is. It's a great program.
Yeah, it is. Wonderful. It does a lot of good.
Yeah.
Great. Well, wonderful. Well, check out Sat's hair. Would really appreciate it. I'm sure Annazette would as well. So
I'm looking at your hair and your picture. It's awesome. That's why I was asking about the highlights, because I was checking them out.
You can see.
Yeah, they look pretty. Who did yours?
Actually, those are extensions.
Ooh, we exposed you.
Oh, did we expose you on accident? Oops.
Well, who cares? They look fabulous.
That's okay.
Hey, no shame. No shame.
I have no problem admitting.
That's right. That's right.
Embrace it.
They look great.
They look great. Wonderful.
That's actually, you know what? That's a good fun fact to share, because that's a great way to have highlights without damaging your hair.
There you go.
Exactly.
So
there you go.
have it.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for joining us.
So
we
great
really
having
appreciate it. Good luck, Annazette. I know it's rough.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know how to
But
find
she's
me.
thinking outside of the box. I love it.
Yeah, really do. And if there's anything I could do or we can do to help you, you know how to find me. Don't be shy.
I won't be. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Sure, you're very welcome. Take care. See you later.
Be safe.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And there you go. There we got another interview done. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I got some good questions, and that was a good guest. Yeah, really could think on her feet, because I know a lot of you guys know, but I know there's been a lot of new people watching and listening. Is we don't do like virtually every other show. We don't preview the guests their questions ahead of time, or Melanie for that matter when she does it.
This is the first of me knowing of her, actually.
Yeah, and so they don't get to preview the questions or anything. So that's the fun of the show, is you got to think on your feet.
Yeah, she's
although and she's very good at it. So we appreciate that. Hope you guys liked that. So anyway, all right. We will see you guys next week for episode 163. Hang out here next week. We might do a giveaway.
Quarantined.
While everyone's quarantined next week,
have nothing to do but watch us.
Right, you'll have no excuse to not be here next week, because we're actually going to have an announcement, and it's a fun one. It really is. It's a fun one, and we might do a curl crap giveaway, and it might not be crap either. So it'd be worth it to hang out here next week.
Is it going to be
Monday.
Toilet paper? Is it related to crap?
We can't because we're running out.
I know. No, I don't have.
We will trade Raw Curl's products
of
my choosing if you send us a package of toilet paper, at least a 4-pack.
I was so mad today.
I know.
I mean,
tell a story. Go ahead.
I actually went to Costco and I didn't expect there to be any, but I was seeing people walk by with toilet paper in their carts. I was like, no way. So I'm like running back to where I think it is, and and I don't see any. And so then this lady came out of the aisle and I said, where did you find the toilet paper? And she pointed, right behind me. She said, right there. And it was like where they were unloading. And of course there was nothing. So I turned around to the guy and I said, do you have any toilet paper? And he's like, well, she just got the last one. It was like a Seinfeld episode. I said, you're kidding.
You're Elaine.
Oh, my
You're Elaine.
gosh. I know I was Elaine. But then to make it even worse, so I was mad. I was so like, oh, man, these people are hoarding. I've got a business to run. Why do they need all that toilet paper? Like, we need it. You don't need that much at home. But then I was walking down the aisle, and this other lady came, and she was having words with them about the toilet paper as well. And then the next thing I know, he went and got a package. So he had a package for her.
Like one of those big giant packages?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I should have started a fight.
You should have. You could have rolled up on her.
I could have took her down.
Cops ain't coming. They said they're not coming.
They have cops there.
Oh.
They have cops walking around.
Oh, boy.
I know.
Right.
So whatever,
Anyway.
I guess.
All right. We'll be here next week, Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time for episode 163. Like I said, it'll be pretty cool. We may do some curl crap giveaways, and we're gonna have an announcement that's really exciting. That's all I'm gonna tell you. It is really exciting. Probably the most exciting thing that's happened this year, other than. No, that's probably the most exciting thing that happened. We've had a lot, hey? God, have we had a lot the last couple of weeks. This like stacks right on it. So anyway, okay, all right. Take care.
Okay.
I'm telling you, if you guys are interested in your immune system, check out the RawganX Super Green Juice. It's really cheap right now. It ain't gonna stay that way forever because I don't want to starve. Anyway, okay, all right. We'll see you guys later. Have a great curl week.